Hey everybody, and welcome back to one of my Eurovision Top 10 with Shane videos, whereby I go through my personal top 10 of any random category. And so today's category, I'm going to be looking at my personal top 10 of artists that are deemed to be American, that have entered and gone onto the Eurovision stage.
And it's you, my love. You're all I think about every day. Yes, it's you, my love.
So first and foremostly, I just want to thank everybody that has been engaging in this kind of mini summer series. So those of you that have subscribed to my channel or follow my channel will know that I'm currently on a vacation break. Close to 7 weeks I am off work. So to fill my time, I'm doing these top 10 videos of random categories. So this is my fourth episode, shall we call it. So I've covered my top 10 male and female duets. I've covered my top 10 songs that got selected and didn't make it to Eurovision. I've covered my top 10 songs written by Andre Babic, which FYI, bless him. Last night he messaged me on Instagram, a lovely message basically saying that he'd seen the video and said some lovely things and thanked me very much, which really did mean something. So it was a lovely thing to receive. So so there is no logic to these categories. I literally, before I go to bed and when I wake up, I sit there and think, right, what can I talk about in regards to a category whereby I can start ranking my top 10? And then I thought, American artists. There has been a plethora of American artists that have represented participating Eurovision countries and gone onto that Eurovision stage. And so I'm very, very fortunate in the sense of randomly someone has done a video where they've collated these artists together, and I'm actually going to use their video and I'm going to thank them in the comments below. So could you support their channel and maybe subscribe because they've saved me a ton load of work and moreover data. My internet is down, which I could cry about. Being in Italy and not speaking Italian, trying to phone up an internet company to try and sort out your internet is apparently not chuffing easy. So I'm using my mobile phone data, which at some point, no doubt, is going to go. So I'm going to do these videos until I run out of phone data, but which means that I don't have to download lots of videos and edit it. I can just download their video and chop and change it. So thank you so much. Just one plea. I normally do this at the end, but I'm going to do this now. If you are here and if you're following these series or you've followed my channel for a while and you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe for lots of different reasons. It's really, really beneficial. It's really, really helpful. I tend not to be that YouTuber that begs for subscribers. I don't necessarily do it for that, but I'm now starting to realize that it's beneficial. So yeah, I thought I'd put that plea out there now. So anyway, without further ado, let's go into my top 10 American artists, US artists. Yeah, artists that are born in America, live in America, associated with America, that have gone to Eurovision. Okay, so in 10th place, there is a tie. So I'll introduce the first one. It is an artist from Slovenia, 2013, I believe, Annet Mancini.
Into love, we'll break through the dawn, and light the world up from the sky when we collide. Straight into love, light up the world from the sky up above. Straight into love.
So I've mentioned in previous videos that basically from when? 2009 up until 2018, every year I would host a Eurovision party on the grand final, and I would, through social media, contact previous Eurovision acts and basically say, look, I'm hosting this party, could you do a small little welcome video that I could play at the beginning? And sometimes I've managed to kind of find those videos and put them in these videos, but a lot of them were on my old laptop, which I do have with me, but I'd forgotten the password. I've remembered the password. This laptop is so heavy. This laptop here. So I've managed to actually find a lot of these previous videos. So Annet Mancini, she did a video for me, bless her heart, and she's so lovely.
Hey everybody, it's Annet Mancini here. I just wanted to wish everyone a wonderful time tonight watching Eurovision over at Shane and Rupert's house.
Now, Straight Into Love, I liked it. I did like it. I kind of assumed it wasn't going to qualify. Hannah Mancini's got an amazing voice, but nonetheless, I like this song. I like Hannah. So yeah, in my 10th place, Hannah Mancini from Slovenia. In equal 10th place goes to an artist called Annet Artani, who represented Cyprus in 2006. Why do the angels cry? I loved this song, and moreover, it was evident that Annet has a phenomenal voice. So when this didn't qualify, and when I found out it didn't even come close to qualifying, I was absolutely gutted. I don't think she necessarily could have done anything more. Now, researching for this video, I didn't know that she's a co-writer of Britney Spears' Every Time I Try to Fight, I Fall. Like, that's pretty impressive to have on your CV. In regards to where she's at now, I think I saw on her Wikipedia page that she's fronting some activist bands, which I think is quite interesting. I think her parents originate from Kefalonia in Greece. So, but nonetheless, I think she's born in America, raised in America, lives in America now. So number 10 goes to Annet Artani. Number 9 goes to Oscar Lawyer, or Joseph Oscar Lawyer, who, I'm probably saying lawyer, it sounds saying like a lawyer, who represented Germany in 2009 with Alex Swings, Oscar Sings. So this was the infamous year where Germany was able to get another American as well, Dita Von Teese, on stage. Miss Kiss Kiss Bang, don't let us sing. Miss Kiss Kiss Bang, Mrs. Kiss Kiss Bang. I think this song is really, really good. And actually, it was such a competitive year. I liked it at the time, but for me, I think this song has aged really, really, really well. It's a good song. I mean, it was lower on the right-hand side of the board. But it was a bit of a shame, really, because I do think Oscar, or Joseph Oscar, performed that song really well. Charisma in abundance, vocally sound. I do think the Dita Von Teese element didn't add anything necessarily, but nonetheless, this is a decent song. There's not really much out there in regards to what he's doing now. I think, from what I can gather, he's done quite a bit of Broadway. So I know he's been to Broadway. I think he's back living in, I think he's living in Germany or residing in Germany at the moment. If anyone knows, please let me know. But yeah, number 9 goes to Joseph Oscar Lawyer. Number 8 goes to a lovely, lovely girl, Natália Kelly, who represented Austria in 2013 with Shine.
The starlit sky, reignite the fire. You will shine, shine and fight the shadows in the sky. You will shine, I see the lights in your eyes. You will shine, shine and fight the shadows in the sky.
So in 2013, I went to the London preview party, and I remember, I'd had a few drinks by this point, and I remember walking past her, and I was like, oh my goodness, Natália. And I think I gave her an unwanted hug, but she absolutely received from an absolute stranger. And I think from that moment, I was like, I like your song, but it's one of those songs that I think if you checked anyone's top 10 that year, I doubt it would have been in anyone's top 10. It was a great song, but it didn't, pardon the pun, shine necessarily. But it was evident that obviously she is a fantastic vocalist. So I didn't realise that she'd won The Voice in Austria in 2011, which I guess makes sense why she's so vocally strong. I really don't know what she's doing right about now, to be honest, which is such a shame. She's another artist that, bless her heart, she did a video for one of my previous Eurovision parties, which I'm eternally grateful for.
Hey everybody, I'm Natália Kelly, and I wish all of you that are celebrating celebrating Eurovision at Rupert's and Shane's Eurovision party in Ivor. A wonderful night.
So yeah, my number, I need to get this right now. Number 8, Natália Kelly from Austria 2013 was Shine. Great song. Okay, so it would seem that my planning has gone all awry. So I'm going to have to do a joint 8th. So in joint 8th with Natália Kelly goes to Isis G, Tamara G, who represented Poland in 2008. So she moved to Poland in 2004. She moved to Warsaw when she married a Pole. My research tells me that she actually partly lived in Italy, in Milan, and created a company, a beauty company called Nebu Milano, which I think is doing extremely well. I think that's evidently what's funding her life at the moment. She's in LA now. I think she resides in LA. But, you know, whilst For Life is an average slow song, that's fair. I think what we can't deny is 3 things. Number 1, vocally on point. Number 2, I think this song in some different levels means something to me, probably more than most people, because obviously it got to the final but came last. And number 3, look, at the end of the day, slight bias coming in, she represented Poland. Yeah. And those that are subscribed and follow my channel will know why there might be a little bit of bias there. But I think just a personal connection with this song and her in this performance. Number 8, Isis G, Poland 2008. Okay, so we're back on track. I've now got 7 songs, 1 to 7. So number 7 goes to, I'm gonna have to pronounce this right, Tamar Kaprelian. Who was a member of Genealogy that represented Armenia with the song Face the Shadow. Now, I remember, number 1, loving this song. I still love this song. Number 2, I particularly remember another poignant point around this. So after they represented Eurovision and America granted equal marriage, both her and Stephanie, is it the one that's part Armenian, part Japanese, who, bless her, she also did a video for one of my previous Eurovision parties.
Hello everybody, it's Stephanie Topalian from Genealogy! Yay! I hope you guys are having a lot of fun at Shane's Eurovision party.
But nonetheless, both of them went to social media basically saying how happy they were about the result. And, you know, obviously they represented Armenia, and at that time they obviously would have picked up a lot of social media following, subscribers, followers from Armenia and other places. And the amount of negative backlash both these ladies got in regards to their support for gay marriage. Now, Tamar was unapologetic and said, look, what you've said is absolutely unacceptable. I will always support equal rights, blah, blah, blah. Absolutely love that. For that reason alone, I love this lady. Now, Armenia, was it 2018 national final? Tamar tries to come back to represent Armenia with the song Poison. Ali, Ali.
Poison running through my veins. I think I've gone insane.
Travesty. That song is such a good song. I remember listening to the song before the national final. I was like, oh my goodness, if Armenia picks this is competitive. And they didn't pick it. I don't think she even did particularly well in the national final, which was an absolute crime. Last thing I'll say about her is she also came back into my consciousness last year because she is a co-writer of Rosa Lynn's Snap as well. So she's a legend. But moreover, let's go back to the reason why she's in my top 10. Her contribution to the band Genealogy, Face the Shadow from Armenia. Love this song. Awesome. Number five goes to my man Christian Ockman.
All my things, marry me in my skin. All that I've done, oh Lord, I'm done. Who thought to be king? Pulling too many strings. All that I've done, oh Lord, I'm done. Gonna take my body down, right down.
So those of you that are subscribers and followers of my channel and have been for a while will know that I was really lucky to meet Christian last year at the Madrid preview party. I'm going to ask you 3 questions. First question, your favourite Eurovision song of all time?
Oh man, okay, I gotta be honest with you. I started following Eurovision about two and a half years ago, just because I was born in the States and I lived there for, around 18 years.
I love this guy. Like, he's an unbelievably warm, what else can I say? No, gives off a warm persona, has zero diva about him, and he's a gentleman, and moreover, he's extremely humble and just down to earth. I think that's a good way of describing him. I'm going to forgive Christian Ockman for his viral video basically mimicking or certainly mocking Blanca's solo. I think he got caught up in the hype in Poland and outside of Poland with people wanting to certainly come for this song and basically ridicule the song. I'll forgive him. I'll forgive him. But nonetheless, so obviously he was born and raised in Poland and went to Poland in 2020 when his granddad, who is, I believe, a famous Polish opera singer, convinced him to study at the an opera school in Katowice, I think it is. But then obviously he won The Voice in Poland in 2020, released his album, did very, very successful, and then obviously came to Eurovision with the song River. Now, obviously the jury is still out into what extent was the staging a reason why that song didn't do as well as it possibly could. Some people would say that the song's repetitive. Some people would say that the lyrics were cyclical, didn't really mean anything. I love the voice. I love the melody. I like the production. I didn't mind the staging. So yeah, there we go. But I also might be slightly biased. But number 5, Christian Ockman, Poland, 2022. Okay, so number 4 goes to 2 people, Johnny Manuel, Trey Campbell, who were in the band Equinox, who represented Bulgaria in 2018.
Goes deep inside your soul. I love beyond the walls. Goes deep inside your soul. I love beyond the
There is no denying on that stage that Johnny Manuel has the most amazing, unique, almost divine voice, if you will. So he did America's Got Talent, right, in 2017, where he duetted with Whitney Houston, I believe, and got into the semi-finals. And he's recently, I've recently seen him on YouTube because in 2020, I think it was, he did The Voice in Australia where he came 9th. I don't know whether that's where he is currently residing in Australia, but for a guy whose voice is so unbelievably phenomenal, it is such a shame and a surprise that this guy hasn't done more with what is, I believe, an insanely talented instrument. Trey Campbell, I didn't realise this. He was a co-writer of Bones. And moreover, he's written songs for BB Rexa, can't pronounce her name, Adam Lambert, Ellie Goulding, just to name a few. The song Bones, this is a weird one because I remember before Eurovision being a bit meh about it, and then during Eurovision I was like, oh, it's growing on me, and for some beknownst reason this song has absolutely taken on a new life in regards to my relationship with Eurovision Songs, where I absolutely love it. At the time I think I thought it was a bit too dark, but I love this song now. So yeah, number 4, Shane. The band Equinox, Bulgaria, 2018. Okay, so number 3 goes to an amazing lady called Ashley Haynes, who was a member of the Mummers, who represented Sweden. Well, unfortunately didn't, because it didn't happen, but with the song Move, Eurovision 2020.
Ocean, deeper than my love for you, and there ain't no fire that I wouldn't run right through. There ain't no mountain, baby, that I wouldn't move. Nothing that I wouldn't do for you, 'cause you do it for me too.
Now, confession time. I liked Move, don't get me wrong, but I was a huge fan of In the Middle in 2021.
I know that I'll be alright as long as you're by my side. Oh.
This song, for me, I think at the time, obviously COVID was happening. There was something to do with the lyrics that certainly I resonated with. I put a little bit of money on that song, knowing it wasn't going to win. And it didn't. Well, it came third. Was it third? But nonetheless, I prefer In the Middle in 2021. But nonetheless, I keep saying nonetheless, on Spotify, they released a few tracks, like a kind of mini kind of sample album with 3 or 4 songs on. And they did a version of Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny. Absolutely love that song as well. I think every song on Spotify that they've released, I've loved as a band. They've gone on a hiatus, unfortunately. We have no idea whether they'll come back. But at the end of the day, the Mummers are iconic. I think I've probably put Ashley Haynes' The Mummers in third, more for In the Middle than Move. But hey-ho, it's my top 10. I don't care. Had this gone to Eurovision, it would have been interesting. So they'd got to the point where they'd done the draws for the semi-final, right? And this was opening up semi-final 1, wasn't it? Because I think there were pockets of people out there saying that potentially Sweden might struggle to qualify. I never thought that. I just think... yeah, maybe the song alone, but when you see those 3 ladies on stage singing, doing those harmonies, basically just serving face, diva, I think you just need to, you can't help just to be sucked in. So I think that would have been a safe qualifier. I don't know how well it would have done. 2020 was an unphenomenally, insanely amazing year for songs. So yeah, number 3, Ashley Haynes from the Mummers. Number 2 has to go to a girl that's been recently mentioned on my channel, when me and Georgie were going through 2008, and it's Kalamira, who represented Greece in 2008.
Secret combination, it's a mystery for you. Use your imagination, I'm not easy, but I'm true. My secret combination, boy, you have to try it hard. To win a destination in the center of my heart. My secret combination, it's a mystery for you. Use your imagination.
I mean, what a massive pocket of energy she is. Georgie has kind of told me loads about her, actually. I didn't realise that she was in Fame Story. So in Greece, she won Fame Story, in fact, in 2014, which is kind of interesting, seeing it's a singing contest. It almost sounds like a singing contest / Big Brother, because you kind of follow them in a house as well. Because she hasn't got the best voice, but Secret Combination, what an absolute tune, what a bop. Apparently she's a bit of an icon in Greece, because I don't think she speaks Greek fluently, and I think people find her extremely endearing when she goes on Greek TV. That's what he says. Maybe he just finds her endearing. But you know, let's admit it, whether you love or you hate this song, that performance, her charisma on stage, and just the song is a really good song. Was it in my top 3 that year? Probably not. But nonetheless, 2008 is a strong year. It's definitely probably in my top... It was definitely in my top 10 going into Eurovision. After Eurovision, or during Eurovision, it was in my top 5 easy. So yeah, number 2 goes to Kalamira from Greece. Secret Combination, amazing song. Okay, so my number 1, being from the UK, being born in the UK, raised in the UK, having a UK passport, it was always going to be Katrina from Katrina and the Waves.
Light up the magic for every boy and girl. Let our love shine a light in every corner of the world. And we're all gonna shine a light together. Oh, shine a light to light the way.
Being a Brit, being from the UK, being a Eurovision fan and following Eurovision, there are highs and there are many lows. But in 1997, we had a huge high. I remember My parents were in town, they'd gone out, but they'd left me with my mum's friend, Judith, who was she was in a taxi office. She was on the microphone speaking to taxis. And I've always said that from 1999 is where I talk about Eurovision on my channel, because that's the first year I was conscious that I followed it, I recorded it, and I watched it every day after that, really, pretty much. But 1997 was definitely the first year that I remember watching it, because I remember being in this taxi office, just watching it with my mum's friend Judith. And I remember her winning, and I remember running to the bar or pub that my parents were at. So 1997, how old would I have been? 10? And just being really excited. And I remember the next day begging my mum to buy the single. And my mum, bless her, she bought it. Did I have a tape or did I have the tape? And then the second, the B-side was a song called Spider-Man. I'll always remember that. I can't believe to this day that song didn't reach #1 in the UK charts. I think it reached #3 or #4. But being British and actually being lucky enough to see her sing this song in Liverpool this year. So I didn't realise that she moved to the UK in 1976. So she'd been in the UK for a significant amount of time. She's also kind of a go-to when it comes around Eurovision or us selecting our song. We probably every other year will go to her, whether it's on the radio or TV, and ask her opinion of our song. And she was a judge also. Oh, hold on, she was a jury member, wasn't she, in Benidorm Fest this year? So she's still touching base with Eurovision and Eurovision peeps. So yeah, my #1 goes to Katrina from Katrina and the Waves. So there we go. There's my top 10 artists from America that have gone to Eurovision. So please let me know what you think. Please let me know in the comments below who's your favourite, top 3, top 5. There are other Americans, trust me. I did my research, that haven't made it. One significant one that represented Hungary, a song that I just never properly got on board with. But nonetheless, there are other Americans out there, so I'm more than happy for people to disagree with me. But please do comment below. And if you haven't subscribed, please do support my channel. It really does mean a lot to me. So yeah. Right, I'm going to leave it there. I have already some ideas for other top 10s, so watch this space. And until then, I guess what's left to say is take care and stay safe.